Hi everyone, welcome to my first Scars draft. I've only done a handful or so of drafts in this format, so it's a bit of a learning curve for me, as well as everyone else. So you'll have to forgive me if I'm not too sure on picks to start with. Not the most exciting first pack to start with. There's a rare that doesn't say anything. I guess the options are Razor Hippogriff or Chrome Steed. I found Scrap Diver Serpent to be too slow in sealed, so I can't see it being any better in draft, where you're usually faster. Carapace Forge is in the wrong colour. If it was in white, it'd be really good, but you don't often get a Metalcraft heavy green deck. Chrome Seed keeps our options open, but I do really like Razor Hippogriff. Flyers are really premium in this format because there aren't that many, and there aren't that many ways of killing them, especially coloured flyers, because they don't die to shatters and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to take the Razor Hippogriff. I'm not a big fan of taking Spell Bombs early. Like, Spell Bombs are mere. I think a lot of people are saying you should take them early just because that's what they've been told. The second pick, Volition Range, is nice. The rare's missing though, so before we start calling out noobs, I guess there was a money rare or a really good rare. Or both. Maybe they took a Masticore or something. There's probably nothing we'll table from this. The Mears, in the next couple of packs, I guess the Trigon, the Mears will go, the Skyguard will go, and then there's not really much left in the pack. So yeah, we'll just take the Volition Reins. Another pack, not that many good cards in it. I guess the options are the Mere, which again I was saying I don't like drafting these that early. People are saying you should take them really high, but fine they make Metalcraft and fine they add mana, but they're not that good unless your deck has a dedicated Metalcraft deck. They're good if you just got a bunch of Chrome Steeds and stuff, but other than that I don't like that much. Having said that, I'm not sure if I want to take one of these cards over them. I think Abuna Acolyte is underrated and I think Kurtag is overrated, but then I think they're about as good as each other, but Acolyte is much safer, because if you don't have Metalcraft this guy is just completely dead. It's a 1 mana 1/1. Whereas Abuna Acolyte is rarely completely terrible, so I'm going to take that. I might regret that though. I'm still not sure how good that guy is. Here we have... what are our options here? Soliton, which is awesome with Arbalest and really average otherwise. Another Mere, which might be telling us something. But Turn to Slag, which is pretty good removal. It kills pretty much everything. And it feels really good when you catch someone out. There aren't really any obvious colour signals. There's good red card, fairly good blue cards, good black card, good red card. Fairly good green card, but again, that's colourless. So, in the interest of keeping options open, I think I'm going to take the Turn to Slag. I like taking cards in various different colours in first few picks rather than forcing a colour that, say, I first picked in, because it just keeps your options open. It means you're less likely to get a train wreck draft. I guess Skyguard is fine. There's really not much good in this pack. Skyguard's better than a random Spell Bomb. Could just go for the deck that doesn't care about Metalcraft, just an aggro deck. But having said that, this pack's pretty terrible, and the only non-poison decent card is Galma's Warden. A 4 mana 2/4 is fairly good by itself. Yeah, in the interest of playing Volition Range, Neurotic Replica is probably the best card in that pack anyway. Passing a lot of poison cards, but then Blackcleave Goblins is one of the worst poison cards. Infect cards, sorry, they're not poison anymore. I'm not sure how good Strider Harness is. Golem Foundry is fairly terrible unless you have a really dedicated deck. But Necrogen Sense is better than people give it credit for. But I haven't played Strider Harness that often. Obviously they're both good for Metalcraft because they're both artifacts that stick around. I'm going to try out the Strider Harness because I haven't played it very much. Soul Parry is another card I haven't tried very much. I'm not going to play any other cards in this pack. It's a shame the white Trigon had to be the worst by far, but I guess that's fairly standard. I suppose the blue one's not great either. I like drawing cards, but it's just a little too slow. One of the advantages of a Boon Acolyte is that people aren't playing around it yet. In the Seal Twist queues, the pre-release ones, I had about 5 people just not play around it when it was on the table. They just didn't see it, or they didn't know what it did, or they were a bit terrible. One of those. Ogre Gear Grabber can be a massive blowout if you have a sick equipment, but more often than not I think it's just a bit too expensive. Then again, I'm not going to play anything. I kind of want to take the Golem Foundry in case I do get the right deck for it, but I don't think I will. I've already got about 6 coloured spells that I want to play, and that's probably already too many. Right. Bonds of Quicksilver. I guess blue's open. Which one's better at Bonds of Quicksilver and Scrap Diver Serpent? I'm really not sure here. I mean, this one seems a lot better. Yeah, I'll take the Serpent. It's a bit too expensive though. I'm still not sure on that card. Bonds of Quicksilver is not particularly impressive. I'm not too bothered about passing one. Also, I think people might be overrating the Serpent, so passing it might be a bad choice signal-wise, because people might think, oh, blue's definitely open then, whereas with Bonds they might not necessarily think that. I was going to say there's not much exciting, but then I didn't see on the end the Arrest, which is one of the best commons in the set and in the colour we're definitely playing. So yeah, I'll take the rest. I don't agree that it's the best common in the set. A lot of people are saying that. I don't agree with that, but it's definitely good. I can't really disagree with that. What are our options here? Glinthawk Idol, Sky Eel School. I'm not going to take Trinket Mage because I have no targets. It's a shame it's in the same pack as Lifestaff. I'd take it if I had a Lifestaff probably. But I think, considering we might be looking at Metalcraft, and the fact we already have stuff like a Boon Acolyte that's good with flyers and just a general good curve, I think the 2 mana 2/2 is probably the pick. We're not definitely blue, and we're not definitely red. The Shatter's kind of tempting, but I think Glinthawk Idol is a safe pick here. It's the only card I will definitely play, along with Lifestaff, but it's better than Lifestaff. These packs really aren't exciting me. Shikari or Replica. I don't have any equipment. I suppose I have Strider Harness, but I don't really like Replica. They have to make the right white Replica the worst as well. They really don't like white, do they? I mean, he really could have just said creature or player, and it wouldn't have been any better than the other replicas. I'm not sure why they just shafted it completely and said it only prevents damage to players. But yeah, I don't want to play them if I can avoid it, unless I really need Metalcraft, which doesn't look like I do at the moment. It looks like I'm just going to be a generally aggressive deck. Another really average pack. If I was definitely in blue, I'd probably take the Invisimancer. But again, I mean, I might be Metalcraft, and this is good with general aggression. It's also good if I get Glint Hawks or Glimmerpoint Stags. And there's really not much else. I don't really want to disperse this early. It's not amazing, and I'm not definitely playing blue. And if I didn't have the Shikari, I think I'd take the Replica, but I kind of want this Lifestaff now. It's good on any flyer as well. Sky School or Silvermere? I guess this keeps us more open. Sky School's a very nice card. I do like I was saying, 3/3 flyers are just really good in this format. But then Silvermere makes casting Volition Reigns easier. It means I'm more likely to play Scrap Diver Serpent, and it's an artifact, so yeah, I'll take that. It does look like we're definitely playing blue now. In which case, I mean, I'll take this. There's not much other choice in the pack. I don't really like Savage Scout, especially considering I have no spell bombs at the moment. Having said that, I might take one here. What do I want? Nothing. Maybe Tainted Strike. I don't want to get blown out by that. I did actually lose a game to that in a recent draft where my opponent turned my guy into a poison guy. I was going to 6 him with my Golem Artisan and turn it to a poison guy, and I didn't even think he could. I didn't even think about that. I mean, I knew he could do it because it was mentioned somewhere, but I hadn't considered it as an option because he only had a swamp up. So I thought, well, he can't have anything. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to be some kind of blue-white tempo deck now, in which case Disperse is pretty good, and Effulgent Distraction is less good, and White Sun's Passage is even worse. Hide some cards, because I've been told to do that and I always forget. I'm generally too lazy for that kind of thing. Soul Parry, I'm not sure about Soul Parry. I haven't played it very often, I haven't played against it very often, but it was in a recent GP winning deck, so it might be better than I'm giving it credit for. ID is Effulgent Distraction. Oh no. I accidentally clicked Show All. Take an Alpha Tyrannex. Guess I can hide by colour. Hide black. Hide red. Hide green. Azori is not in my colours, so that's not the pick. And there's not much there is. There's a Perilous Mate or a Bladed Pinions, I guess. Bladed Pinions is probably better. Even though I don't really have anything that wants me to equip it. I mean, Sunsphere Shikari loses a bit of value when it's equipped with Pinions. And Invisimancers and Skyguards and General Flyers don't really want it either. But I think it's better than Perilous Mate. Perilous Mate is really good on defense, but I don't really want to be defensive. I'd also rather have an artifact that sticks around to guarantee Metalcraft. I really like Riddlesmith. I really like Contagion Class, but my deck has no way of abusing it, and I really, really like Riddlesmith. There's a Glinthawk I was talking about, and there's also a very scary Skin Render. I don't actually have that much that goes with Glinthawk. I mean, I have Necrogen Sensor as the only card that goes with it, and I have a few cheap artifacts that don't mind it. I mean, you lose a bit of tempo when you make them. I suppose it's better to take this than to hate a Skin Render, I guess. I don't know if it is actually. Yeah, it probably is. It's unlikely that one Skin Render will affect my draft too much. Snapcell Glider, Flight Spellbomb, Abuna Acolyte. I'm having just taken Riddlesmith and Glinthawk, I think I want the cheap artifacts. So I'll take the Spellbomb. Does a Quarter's Shield count as a cheap artifact? It's not a cheap artifact I want to play by any means, but I guess it's better than a Darksteel Mirror. I mean, it's not the most aggressive thing in the world, is it? But then again, neither is a Quarter's Shield. I suppose it's fine on a flyer or on any guy that's happy attacking, regardless. Like Nurok Invisimancer, turn it into a 2/4, it blocks anything on the ground. Kind of want that Luminous Drake, but I don't have enough artifacts to go with it, so it's much better to take the Spellbomb, which happens to be pretty good with what I'm going for. And another flyer is fine. My mana costs are a bit awkward. I've got white, white, white. Well, double white, double blue, triple blue, double white. Hopefully that won't come back to haunt me. Hate this off the Infect deck. Yeah, I've got a kind of halfway house deck here. It's neither Metalcraft nor is it non-Metalcraft. So I'm not sure how effective this deck will be overall. I'm kind of scared that I'll either draw all my rubbish artifacts and none of my Metalcraft guys, or all my Metalcraft guys and none of my rubbish artifacts, or like my Glinthawk and my Gamma's Warden, and then only a Nurok Replica and a Strider Harness or whatever. There's nothing I want to hate in here, I don't think. Maybe this card. How much does this pump by 2? It doesn't really scare me, does it? Yeah, I'll just take that. That's not bad. I've yet to see Assault Strobe be any good, either against me or for me. Not that I've played it, but I've yet to have a deck where I thought, yeah, I really want Assault Strobe, and I've had it played against me twice and it did nothing. So I guess it is as bad as it looks. So yeah, I think this deck ended up reasonable. I mean, it's just it's a standard blue-white skies deck, reminiscent of M11, but the mana costs are a bit awkward, and the lack of synergy might come back to haunt me. But we'll see how it goes. I also have no removal, I have no rest, which is not really enough. Which means I'm more likely to play that soul parry. I guess it means I get to try it out. My Glinthawk certainly got a lot better after I picked it. I got 3 1-drop artifacts. So it doesn't look like I'm playing that Accorder's Shield. This is 17 cards with 1 Manamere. I think that's probably fine. I'm actually tempted around 16 lands. I think I said cards, I meant lands. But then again, if I did do that, I'd add something like a Scrap Diver Serpent. So it doesn't really. I suppose I could add Soul Parry. I mean, so having said that, Soul Parry doesn't look very good in my decks. Most of my guys have Evasion. I'm just wondering, because I have 2 Spell Bombs and a Manamere, and my curve basically stops at 3, so I don't really want more than 16 land. Could add a Accorder's Shield, but then the land is probably better than that most of the time. I'm just worried that stuff like Edgewright and Gums Warden will be really mediocre for me, because I don't have any ways of abusing them. I guess I'll run with this. If I'm on the draw, I think I'll board out a land, but because I'm going to choose to play with this deck, I think it's safer to start with 17. I don't want to get mana screwed and lose just because I should have played more lands. So yeah, I'll run with this for now. Then on the draw I can switch it around a bit. So now to sort out my annoying mana base, it suggests 10-7, which would make sense, but I have Volition Range, so I probably want 9-8. Let's see what I have. I'll sort by colour, I guess. So yeah, I have a lot more white, and I have a bunch of double white, but then I have 2 double blue and a triple blue, and a blue mirror. I think 9/9 sources is about right. Not ideal, my mana base, but I think this is the best I can do with it. So I will see you for round 1.